Welcome back to Fast 5. I'm Lisa Zembrodt, manager of our Global Research and Analytics team. Our team is responsible for forecasting the global energy commodity markets and publishing research outlooks to our clients, which of course help them make informed strategic energy decisions. Today I'm joined by one of our commodity analysts, Matt Smith, and also the author of The Energy Burrito. We'd like to discuss with you today with a white paper that we've recently written. The purpose of this white paper was to cover a few of the global energy trends that will shape the future of energy. Of course, we choose just a few of the many that we see in the future because the markets are, of course, very complex, which is one of the reasons that we have an entire team of analysts who forecast our global energy commodity markets. So with that, I'd like to ask you, Matt, of the many global energy commodity trends that we are following and see for the future, which did we write about in the white paper?
Okay, well, we covered 5 different ones across the whole gamut of energy, okay? So I'll try to remember all 5 of them. First one is about global energy trends. And what this piece does is take a look at developed nations and developing nations and how their energy usage is going to change over the coming years as their demographics change and as their patterns and behaviors change. So that's the first one. The second one is commodity specific and looks at global natural gas. In Asia, prices are really high at the moment. Here in the US, not so much. Prices very divergent across the world. However, that's likely to change over the coming decade, and so what this piece does is explains how these dynamics could change as the US becomes a potential exporter in the coming years as other places like Europe attract cargoes, and so that's what we really look into there. The third piece is global emission schemes, and specifically what we do is we look at the EU scheme here, the pioneering scheme over half a decade ago. However, there's been a number of different shortcomings because of the European debt crisis, because of oversupply, all these different issues. However, there's a number of different schemes that are coming to the fore now in China, in California, in Australia, and hopefully they are going to learn from these errors and these challenges that have been faced by the EU to hopefully develop successful schemes going forward. And so that's what that piece is about. Another piece we did is on global power markets. And this essentially focuses on the volatility that is involved there. And what this piece explains is that even though we're going to see the generation mix change as we move forward, that doesn't mean that we're going to see the markets any less volatile. They're just going to be more different. And then the final piece we did, I believe it's the final piece, is oil shale revolution. And so the US has been another pioneering country which has seen the shale revolution develop. However, it's likely to be replicated all across the world to varying successes, varying extremes. However, the key thing about the production and that in the US from these shale plays is that there's this expectation that you would see more production mean lower prices at the pump for products. However, that just isn't the case. And so what this piece does is explain really why that doesn't really happen. And so in a nutshell, we cover these 5 broad areas to give an insight, or 5 insights, into the world of energy.
And which of the 5, if I may ask, was your favorite? Did you find most interesting?
I like the energy demand one because it looked at, well, here, the developed nations over the next 2 decades are going to flatline for energy demand growth. All the demand growth is going to come from emerging markets. And also there's going to be population growth that's going to boom in Africa, in Asia, that's going to drive on energy use. There's going to be more people with electricity. There's going to be more manufacturing, or potentially China's then going to peak out in their manufacturing. It will then move elsewhere just as it's moved out of the US. So all these different jigsaw pieces going on in the world of energy and how they're all changing over the next couple of decades. I found that one really interesting. What about you?
Actually, for me, the last that you mentioned, the global shale revolution, that was probably the most interesting piece for me. It scratches the surface on a lot of the major themes in international economics. So international trade policy, certainly foreign direct investment. A lot of the major themes of international economics are almost seen in that single topic. And I also found it very interesting how easy it is to misunderstand or misinterpret what a growth in supply can mean for prices. It's good to be reminded that our gasoline and diesel prices in the US are dictated by global energy markets and by the global crude oil market in particular. So as much as I would love to chat forever about global energy commodities, we are short on time. So with that, if you'd like a copy of the white paper, just follow the web address below, and I hope you'll join us again.